listening to the Art of Homeschooling podcast, where we help parents cultivate creativity and connection at home. I'm your host, Jean Miller, and here on this podcast, you'll find stories and inspiration to bring you the confidence you need to make homeschooling work for your family. Let's begin. It's April as I'm recording this episode, and for many homeschoolers, that means it's officially ordering curriculum season. That's right, many of us start thinking about next year, how things could be better, how that next curriculum we've been eyeing might be the one that clicks. Sometimes we even consider buying new curriculum for the rest of this year. But here's something I want to warn you about, and that is the hidden cost of curriculum hopping. Curriculum hopping is when we frequently change educational programs due to burnout, curriculum overload, or the misunderstanding that a new program, a new curriculum is needed and will, of course, be better than the one we're currently using. When we do this, though, there's actually a hidden cost that's even more problematic than the actual financial cost of buying more and more curriculum. What is the hidden cost of curriculum hopping? It's this. It starts with confusion and turns into the erosion of confidence. When we start eyeing that new curriculum or a new program, we think it's going to help us get clarity, right? Clarity on what to teach our children and when to teach it. But here's the thing. When you already have one curriculum and then go purchase another curriculum, you will find conflicting opinions. One might suggest doing house building in October, for example, in third grade, while another says this block is better to do in the springtime. One might tell you to introduce word families at the end of first grade, while another says to do this later in second grade. And you'll start to wonder, well, which one is right? The answer? Neither one is. That's because you get to decide what's best for your family. You get to look at each individual child you are homeschooling and decide what's best for them. Curriculum is often too structured and too rigid and can make us feel like we're failing. So when you just keep buying more and more educational materials, more curriculum, more whatever it is, you'll find yourself getting more and more confused rather than less. Curriculum becomes a crutch and our stress starts to build up. In the long run, this erodes our confidence. This then makes decision-making even harder. So what do? We look for yet another curriculum, hoping it will be the answer. Do you want to stop this destructive cycle? I have 4 reasons why we start curriculum hopping in the first place and 4 ways to stop it. This is what I want to share with you today. But before we get into these helpful strategies, I want to remind you that you'll find a recap of this episode, along with any links that I mention, in the show notes over at artofhomeschooling.com/episode 251. So be sure to check that out after listening today. Let's start by understanding why curriculum hopping even happens to begin with. The first reason, overwhelm. When we start to feel behind as homeschooling parents, we think we're doing something wrong. But if the curriculum we have is too much and the overwhelm doesn't go away, we somehow mistakenly think that a different curriculum might be the answer we need. It might have all the answers. It might have the correct rhythm or give us that feeling that we're really longing for, which is a sense that we're doing it right. The second reason is shiny object syndrome. That new curriculum that we're seeing other people use, it seems more engaging than the one we have. It seems more popular than the one we have. The one we have, we might feel burnt out on. And the one that feels just a little bit too mundane or too rote right now, we contrast that with the one that looks beautiful and new and so much more usable than what we have. The truth is, though, we don't really know because we don't have the two right in front of us side by side to compare. The third reason for curriculum hopping is what I would call misconception, believing that popular, new, or just different curriculum will automatically improve the learning, or will, of course, be much more fun, or we will enjoy teaching from it more than what we currently have. That is often a misconception and not one that plays out in the long run. Reason number 4, inexperience. We're often tempted to switch curriculum when we're new to homeschooling. We try one, not really right for us, so we're going to go try another one. Or when we're teaching a new grade for the first time, when our oldest child is in a new grade, in maybe a new developmental stage that we've not taught before, and when we're just beginning to find our way and we think a new curriculum is the answer. So now that we understand why we're tempted by curriculum hopping, let's dive into how to avoid it. Number 1, reflect with honesty. I think we have to get really honest with ourselves. And sometimes that means taking a step back for a moment and considering if either you or your children are simply exhausted. Ask yourself if it's really the curriculum that's the problem here. Sometimes we just have this sense that we need a small change or that our child is not grasping certain concepts. That does not require an entirely new curriculum. So the first step is to reflect with honesty. Second, consider customizing rather than replacing. So instead of switching altogether, could you skip certain sections of the curriculum that you have? Could you give yourself permission, give your child permission to not complete every problem, for example? Maybe they just do half of the page or every other math problem. Or just use parts of the curriculum you have and supplement with books from the library or learning activities that you design yourself. The best description I have for this is to switch our thinking from needing to follow the curriculum to using curriculum as a resource. Step 3 is reframe your definition of finished. Maybe you finished 60% of the curriculum. Maybe less, maybe 75%. Just know that even teachers in public schools don't usually finish every page of a curriculum, and you don't have to either. You don't have to finish every single lesson. You can simply use curriculum as a resource rather than a script and learn to be flexible with it. Remember, you can simplify and you can choose the sections that you use from the curriculum. And number 4 is, rather than perfection, focus on connection. You've heard this from me before probably, but I want you to remember that engaging with your child and connecting with your child or children is way more important than checking off boxes. And to circle back to our conversation about how to avoid curriculum hopping, keep in mind that curriculum overload actually contributes to overwhelm, burnout, and confusion. And that, my friend, eventually begins to erode your confidence. There you have it. 4 ways that we're tempted to start curriculum hopping as homeschoolers and 4 ways to stop the curriculum hopping. Because the cost of curriculum hopping isn't just in your wallet. There's a hidden cost to curriculum hopping, which is your confidence. And confidence is what we want more of, not less of. Confidence is something we want to protect and help grow. That's what drives me as a homeschooling mentor, helping homeschoolers like you gain confidence in yourself as a leader. If you want online help anytime from anywhere, join the Inspired at Home community to get the training, coaching, and community that you need to homeschool with confidence. And if you want to spend the weekend with other holistic homeschoolers like you, come to the Summer Taproot Teacher Training to renew your confidence and your skills as a homeschooling parent. We have a whole team of awesome, experienced homeschoolers who will guide you in workshops and learning activities. Plus, we'll be at summer camp together for a long weekend in August. Hope you can join in. You will find links to everything mentioned here in this episode over in the show notes at artofhomeschooling.com/episode 251. And remember, the cost of curriculum hopping is not just in your wallet. Your confidence is at risk, and that's something you want to nurture and grow. Thanks so much for listening today. I've been where you are on this homeschooling journey, and I'm over here waving, sending hugs, and cheering you on from my home to yours. That's all for today, my friend. But here's what I want you to remember. Rather than perfection, let's focus on connection. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Art of Homeschooling podcast.